Okay, good afternoon, students. Now you have to see the effects of temperature. We already saw that one. We have to continue that effects of temperature. The following physiological processes are influenced by some temperature aspects. What are they? Temperature, it will affect the enzymatic action of all the biochemical reaction in a plant body. The temperature, that will affect the enzymatic reaction. That which type of enzyme is that the activity is mostly stopped by, or biochemical reaction is stopped by in a plant body. First one. And also it influences carbon dioxide O2 solubility in the biological system. It also influenced by the carbon dioxide and O2 solubility in the biological system. It will also increase the respiration and stimulate growth of seedlings also there. The temperature also, it will increase the respiration and stimulates the growth of seedlings also there. And low temperature with high humidity can cause spread of diseases in plants. The temperature is very low, high humidity, it will cause spread of diseases in plants. The plants mostly affected by the low temperature and also the high humidity in condition is there. It will also cause some diseases. The varying temperature, the climatic changes it will occur means some of the diseases will come. The varying temperature with moisture determines the distribution of the vegetation also there. Varying temperature, it will call the some of the variation it will occur in a temperature. It will show some of the vegetation types. First vegetation types it will occur. Okay. Next one is water. Then we'll go for the water. There is another climatic factors. Water is the one of the most important climatic factors. Water is very very essential. It is the most important climatic factor of this one. It also affects the vital process of all living organisms. It will affect the vital process in our living things. It is mostly believed that even life had originated only in the water. Water is the very most important things. During the evolution of Earth, water covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface. Water it will covers the more than 70% of Earth's surface. In nature, water is available to plants in three ways. They are atmospheric moisture, precipitation, and soil water. These are the three ways water is available to the plants or in a soils: atmospheric moisture, precipitation, and soil water. Based on the range of tolerance of salinity, organisms are divided into two types based on the range of tolerance of salinity. Water. Organisms are divided into two types. First one is euryhaline and stenohaline. What do you mean by euryhaline? Organism which can live in a water which wide range of salinity. The salinity of water is very high. In an organism which can live in a water only, that is a euryhaline. Examples: marine algae and marine angiosperms. Marine angiosperms are there. Then stenohaline, organism which can withstand only small range of salinity. Example: plants of Historias. Only in a small salinity condition only the plants are live. That the condition is nothing but stenohaline. Okay. What are the conditions mostly occur in a environmental factors? It will present in the ways. First one is terminology: stenothermal, eurythermal, environmental factors. Temperature is there. Stenothermal, eurythermal means temperature. Stenohaline, euryhaline, there is salinity, depending upon the salinity. Stenoceous, Euroceous, habitat selection. Then stenohydric, euryhydric, water, depending upon the water. Stenophagic, euryphagic, food, phagic. Then stenobasic, eurybasic, depth of water and habitat, depending upon the factors: temperature or salinity or habitat selection or water or food, depth of water or habitat. These are classified. What is stenothermal? Thermal means temperature or heat. Haline, there is salinity. Or stenoceous, there is habitat. Then also hydric, there is water. Phagic means nothing but food, how they eat. Phagic, that is depth of water is there. Okay. Tolerance of environmental factors. Then example of tolerance to toxicity: Here, some of the examples are given. Soybean or tomato manage to tolerate the presence of cadmium, poisoning by isolating cadmium and storing into few groups of cells and prevent cadmium affecting other cells. Soybean and tomato manage to tolerate the presence of cadmium poisoning. Cadmium poisoning by what? Isolating cadmium and storing into few groups of cells. It will isolate and stored in a cells of and prevent the cadmium affecting other cells. Okay. Then rice and eikarnia, water rhizome, tolerate cadmium by binding it to their proteins. The rice and hyacinth tolerate the cadmium by binding to their proteins. It will bind with the cadmium, it will bind with these proteins. These plants are otherwise can also be used to remove cadmium from contaminated soil. This is known as phytoremediation. What do you mean by phytoremediation? Phyto means plants. With the help of plants, these are removed. The wastewater or otherwise the waste materials are mostly removed by plants. That is called phytoremediation. Okay, the next one is wind. Air is motion is called wind. The air in motion. Here there is a air, it will present. It will in a motion condition is called wind. It is also a vital ecological factor. How will we identify the wind? Here some of the tree branches are mostly movements is there. Then only you have to identify the wind is there. It is also a vital ecological factor, wind. The atmospheric air contains a number of gases and particles and other constituents. Atmospheric air also having the number of gases, particles and other constituents. Here there is hydrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen, some of the other gases, rare gases also there. So the atmospheric air contains the number of gases, some of the particles and other constituents. The composition of gases in atmosphere is as follows. We already studied in a lower class. Nitrogen is 78% is there. Oxygen 21% is there. Then carbon dioxide is 0.03% is there. Argon and other gases 0.93% is there. But nitrogen is majority of gases mostly present in atmospheric air is nitrogen 70% is there. Then after oxygen 21. Then carbon dioxide is very less 0.03 is there. Then argon and other gases 0.93 is there. Okay. The other components of wind and other water vapor and gaseous pollutants, dust, smoke particles, microorganism, pollen grains, spores, etc. These are mostly present in air also. The other components also there, it will present in the air. Water vapor it will present. Gases pollutions also it will present. Dust, smoke particles, microorganism, pollen grains, spores also there. And also, how will be measure the wind? Anemometer is the instrument used to measure the speed of wind. You have to measure the speed of wind. Which instrument is mostly used? Anemometer. Anemometer is mostly used for this measuring of speed of wind. Then effects of wind. Next we pass on to the effects of wind. Wind is an important factor for the formation of rain. Wind is an important factor for the formation of rain. Causes wave formation in lakes and ocean. It will promote aeration of water. Strong wind causes soil erosion and reduces soil fertility. There is a strong wind it will occur, soil erosion it will also there and reduces soil fertility. Increase the rate of transpiration. It also increases the rate of transpiration, helps in pollination in anemophilous plants. It also gives a helping for pollination process for anemophilous plants. It also helps in dispersal of many fruits, seeds and spores, etc. Here the winds also helpful for the dispersal of many seeds and spores, etc. Strong wind may cause some rooting of big trees. Strong wind may cause uprooting of big trees also there. And unidirectional wind stimulate the development of flag forms in trees. Here unidirectional, in one directional wind cause, it will stimulate the development of flag forms in trees. Flag forms in trees. The flag it will move. Which type? How they are moving or other how they are flying. The same way the unidirectional wind to stimulate the development of flag forms trees are there. In a normal khajab storm, anything is there. That the way how the trees are there, they are moving towards or moving one directional way. The next one is fire. Here fire is an exothermic factor mostly caused due to the chemical process of combustion. Fire is an exothermic process caused due to the chemical process of combustion, releasing heat and light. It is mostly man-made and sometimes developed naturally due to the friction between the tree surfaces. Fire is generally divided into, here there is a ground fire and also surface fire and a ground fire. There are three ways they are divided. Here ground fire, which is flameless and is subterranean. These fire mostly present in a soil, bottom of the soil, in a ground layer, that is called, which is mostly flameless. In a soil, in the underground, some of the heat capacity is there, heat is there, that is called ground fire. Surface fire, which consumes the herbs and shrub, that is surface fire in a top of the region or otherwise in a surface area. The fires it will maybe cause, it consumes the herbs and shrubs. Ground fire, which burns the forest canopy. In a forest area, it will cause some of the fires, that is called ground fire, which burns the forest canopy. Then what are the effects of fires? What are the effects of fires? Here fire has a direct lethal effect on plants. It also a direct lethal effect on plants. Burning scars are the suitable places for the entry of parasitic fungi and insects. Burning scars are the suitable places for the entry of parasitic fungi and insects. It also bring out the alteration of light, rainfall, nutrient cycle, fertility of soil, pH, soil flora and fauna. It brings us the alternation of light, rainfall, nutrient cycle, fertility of soil, pH and soil flora and fauna. Some fungi which grow in soil or burnt areas called pyrophilus. Example, Pyroniма compluens. Some fungi which grow in soil or burnt areas only called pyrophilus.